Testing, testing, testing. Let's see, can anyone hear me? Testing, testing. Let's see. Can anyone hear me? So hopefully I got this working. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? So can you guys hear me? Testing. Two. Let's see. Alright, I'm wondering if any of you guys could hear me. Testing, testing. Okay. Alright, hopefully you guys can hear me. Um, let's see, I guess I'll wait a couple of minutes. I'm not sure if anyone will come today, but it was pretty much last notice that I scheduled the live stream. But I do have a bunch of thumbnails that I can show you. Past couple of weeks, I've been getting some thumbnails done. So hopefully, some of these thumbnails look pretty decent compared to the ones I have right now. All right. I also only got 3 hours of sleep. For some reason, I haven't been able to sleep recently. So my schedule's all kind of screwed up. All right. All right, if you guys could hear me, just let me know. Because if I turn on the speakers, the echoes. Okay. All right. Great. because I'm afraid of turning on the speakers, because once I turn on the speakers, you'll have an echo, and then that'll create a lot of problems for the stream. All right. So let's just, I guess, get started. There's 5 people watching. The first thing I wanted to show you guys was thumbnails. The last live stream, uh, some of you guys were recommending I switch around a lot of my thumbnails because they were too bland or they didn't stand out much. So what I did is I've been working with a couple of graphic designers, and they've been giving me a lot of samples. So I've been asking some friends as to what they think are good, asking just other video editors, etc., to see what they to see what they think are good. And yeah, so I have a bunch of thumbnails I can show you guys, and you guys, I guess, and you guys, if you don't mind, can give me some feedback as to what you think looks okay. All right. Let's see. All right, so you guys should be able to see this. Let me see. First, actually, how should I do this? Should move the chat here. All right. Okay. So move the chat here. All right. All right. So yeah. So this is the first design. Okay. Great. All right. This is the second one for 3 common mistakes. 3 common mistakes Python programmers make. So what do you guys think about this one? Side by side. So let me see. There's actually a bunch of them. I have about 15. I'm not sure how exactly I would show them side by side. Let's see, we can do something like this. Hold on, let's see. There we go. All right, here we go. Full screen options. I don't know how to full screen it within the windowed version. All right. All right, so you're referring to the Python loggers handlers. Is that the one you think is 7 out of 10 for you? All right. Wow, the second one is 4 out of 10. Okay. All right. So the third one is for Python regular expressions. I was trying to uh, make a more cartoony feel. I was actually going to change these cartoon characters, these two guys, to maybe one guy looking very confused, and then have a bunch of regex on the top within the quote bubble. Ah, interesting. Okay, so my editor also really liked this one as well. So I didn't know if it was too cartoony or too kiddish. I was a little concerned that it might put off a lot of people because it looks kind of cartoony. Okay, okay. All right. So what do you rate this one, if you don't mind? Okay, hopefully there's not a lag, but yeah, there might be a slight lag. It's hard to tell, but all right. This is the same one. Three common mistakes Python programmer makes. This is another one, Python logging, loggers, handlers. This was a different editor. And I wasn't really a fan, but I'm not sure what you guys think. It doesn't feel like it stands out too much. The coloring and I think the text color. But I can adjust the text color. Alright, so for regex usage, you think if there's not another design for it? Okay, for general usage, I'll say 4 out of 10. Alright. The first one was. Oops. First one was a slightly different color. I guess the first one stands out a little more. Yeah. And the background is also slightly different. I wonder if there's lag. Let's refresh this and see. Sorry guys, yeah, there might be some lag. Yeah, the first one was cooler. Yeah, the uh the last one I didn't think that was I didn't think the coloring or the text stood out enough. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure about the background as well. The background looks like some kind of a spaceship, which is kind of weird. All right, so a lot of people like this one that I've shown. It's a solid background. The frame is nice, a yellow frame. My editor didn't like the text too much. He said it felt too tall and kind of squished together. So he didn't really like how the text was utilized in this slide. Overall, though, the background is kind of soothing, so I'm not sure. So for general usage, this design is also very good. Okay. All right. Nice. So what do you think about the text though? Are you okay with the text? All right. Yeah, I think I'm experiencing a lag. I'm not really sure why. Um, all right. So actually, full screen. We can so we can do this. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly just go through some of these. This was another one, Python concepts. And here, this is just for live streams. If I try to do some live coding, etc., or any other live streams, I can use something like this. And then here's another one. Yes, actually, you have helped me. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. With my editor and the video designer, the graphic designer, we should come up with something. But you gave me a little bit of, you gave me some ideas as to what to think about. But yeah, I think I should be good with the thumbnails. I'm also overthinking some of them, so I can always change them in the future. But yeah, thank you very much. All right. So I quickly scrolled through all of them. If there's anything you like, just let me know. If not, it's all right. All right, and I barely slept. I slept like 3 hours, so I was hoping to do a quick stream anyway. No problem. And if there's anything you're interested in seeing, let me know. That as well. I've been thinking about. Someone had recommended Micro Python, and that's something I've been thinking about, and I want to probably make some videos on that or look into. But if there's anything, any content you want to see that you're not finding, let me know. Right now, mainly I'm working on deep learning stuff, trying to do a lot of things from scratch, object detection and YOLO. And those tutorials are going to be pretty hard to put together. It's going to take some time. But if there's anything else you guys want to see besides that, let me know. If any of you guys have something you would like me to make tutorials on, or if there's anything in specific that you guys want me to create, let me know. And sorry about the lag. I'm not sure why it's lagging today. I didn't really have any problems last time. Alright, I guess I'll try to end the stream early today. If there's any of you guys who have any suggestions as to what you would like to watch, you can let me know. Or what you like me to create. You guys could let me know. If you guys watch the restream, you can let me know as well. So recently I've been thinking about MicroPython is something I want to work on, and some deep learning stuff, but deep learning from scratch, object detection, and YOLO 3 are things I'm currently working on. So, but that'll take some time, as it's kind of a difficult project. Yes, I remember you from last week or 2 weeks ago. How's it going? So I remember two of you guys. There's one that was a truck driver, and then the another one that had recommended me MicroPython. Not bad, not bad. So what have you been up to in terms of Python? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I've definitely recently I've been actually thinking a lot. I'm trying to incorporate programming with electronics or something outside of the digital world. I'm trying to figure out things that you can sync. Um, just programming with external items. For sorry, lack of better words due to my sleep, but trying to find some more interesting things. So MicroPython is something I definitely want to look into, and going to be looking into. So actually, it's been a while since I've been wanting to look into electronics. So I think it'll be the perfect opportunity. So you said you have experience, right, with MicroPython? Raspberry Pi Zero with the P in P4 and WP1. And what kind of projects are you working on with Raspberry Pi? Hi there, UA. How are you doing? Sorry if the stream is coming out kind of funny. It seems like my face looks blurry. I'm not really sure why. Let's see. Let's put this to 720p. Okay, so pen testing Raspberry Pi. So have you used any of these sensors? There seems to be a lot of interesting sensors. Uh, some kind of humidity sensors, or for to automate watering of your plants. That seemed like a pretty cool project, and that seems like a very good starter project from what I'm noticing. All right, sorry if the stream is choppy. I can't figure out why, but yeah. So I wanted to look into the sensors. I know there's a humidity sensor, and the watering of your plant seems to be like but I used to have, so yeah, so that's something I might look into. Um, so I used to have plants, so it might be, yeah. So I've seen that, I think, on Reddit and stuff like that, where they that was their initial project. So, and I've seen some really advanced projects where they develop some medical devices with Raspberry Pi, Arduino, or maybe I guess even MicroPython, um, like an ultrasound and I can't remember, but how you a centrifuge as well. So I've seen some pretty crazy things you can do, and it seems like an interesting project. So especially with IoT becoming more and more popular, and I see the future going there as well. So what's the difference between MicroPython and Raspberry Pi? So you're the one recommending MicroPython. I'm curious as to um, why MicroPython over Raspberry Pi. Actually, let me move the stream over here. Ah, okay. So it's just a microcontroller. So that'll be a lot tougher. Okay. I'll have to go more into details. So it's very similar, I'm assuming, to Arduino, which will be interesting. So yeah, I don't have much experience in this field. Um, so this will be a great, but I think it has an emulator for running Python code. Okay. So I did, yeah, I found a book on MicroPython, so I'm going to slowly go through it and see if there's anything interesting I can create. Um, but yeah, definitely thanks for the recommendation. That's why it has a bit more RAM and a bit more flash memory. Okay. So yeah, I'll have to look at the pricing as well and see what the price difference is. But is this the only project you've done? You said pen testing. What other projects have you worked on with either Raspberry Pi or MicroPython? Now, are you an electrical engineer, or are you just doing this for hobby, or is this something you want to pursue as a career? hobby. Okay, okay. So, are you currently using Python, learning Python, or how exactly are you utilizing Python in terms of your daily life? Is that something professionally or as a hobby as well? Ah, I've heard of them. Okay. I don't know if you pronounce it Adafruit or Adafruit, but yeah. Okay, so they're pretty big, as far as I know, because I've heard of them. But they sell at Circuit Python. It's the same thing. Okay. So, well, I'm learning Python because I think the future is going to involve people knowing a programming language. I'm assuming you're saying going to involve people knowing a programming language. Yeah, so in terms of the future, I think programming is going to get easier and easier so that people can apply programming to various different fields. Um, so it's good to know multiple fields. That's the the impression I'm getting now. Um, so if you're like, say for example, AI involves a lot of math and then neuroscience and then programming. So it's a combination of multiple fields. But in terms of, it's hard to tell exactly what the future is going to entail, but I think programming is going to become easier and easier so that it will be easier and easier for people to pick up. And hopefully, other fields. I know there's um, a bioengineering, genetic engineering movement as well. They're trying to get it easier for people to be able to do some of those experiments. And so I think the Odin project, if I'm not mistaken, um, they're also they were also working on trying to make it more accessible to people to do some kind of genetic experiments. So, and of course, even with genetic engineering, having a background in programming with bioinformatics helps a lot as well. If I would have what I like doing, but if I would have what I like doing on Python, it's probably pen testing and automation. Even though I haven't done a project on automation. So, what kind of automation are you looking for? So, there's with Selenium, I've done automation in terms of web scraping. Um, there's also, I think, Pywin Auto for automating your Windows. There's actually another one. There's a lot of automation you can do, and then even with deep learning, you can automate in terms of image classification um, and a bunch of other things actually. I've actually, yeah, I can't recall. Basically, due to lack of sleep, I've only had 3 hours of sleep, but um, I've actually worked on a bunch of automation projects back when was starting programming. I can't remember now, but I was automating Windows, speaking on Skype. So There's also chatbots, but I don't think chatbots have evolved enough. I haven't really looked into that field, so I'd have to look into that. But web scraping is basically getting data from the web. So you go to different websites and their code is basically laid out. If you look at, so for example, here YouTube, if I right click, I can inspect their page, and here they're basically their HTML and CSS can be found. Well, HTML, and what you can do is you can access certain part of the website for data. So say if there's a chart, you can access the HTML that's connected or synced with the chart. And hold on, how do I yeah, so you could sync with the data that you're trying to get, and then use that HTML code to able to scrape or download or extract the data. So if you need to get lots of images, people scrape Google Images or Instagram. If you need financial data, you can scrape that as well. You can also scrape a bunch of financial news, or news from various different sites, and create your own news feed. So I actually have a series on web scraping. It's called Gentle Intro to Web Scraping, which basically introduces you to which it basically introduces you to web scraping. It's basically like an API. Depending on what you refer to when you're saying API, not really an API. It's a general. It's just a general method. You can't use it on one specific site. So different sites have their own APIs because they don't want you to directly access their data, because sometimes people abuse making requests to their site. And what I mean by making requests is basically connecting to the site and downloading the information. So each site, you have to look at the code for each site and sort of figure out how to extract the data you want to. So certain sites like Twitter, Instagram also has an API because they want you to connect with the API directly instead of trying to scrape their site. So it's less of a burden for them, and the data is more organized with the API. So yeah, some sites will have an API. Now, actually, I have a video on Reddit, scraping Reddit. I connect with I connect with the API in that video. So instead of trying to directly scrape Reddit, which can also be done by looking at the source code, they actually have an API which makes it very easy to get all the data you want. So I downloaded a bunch of data and I was going to feed it into a neural network to see how text generation and I think classification, etc., various different types of neural networks work with this data. So I use a lot of Reddit recently. It might be useful for me. Reddit for Python or just in general? So how are you currently studying Python, by the way? Okay, so cat video memes, etc. Okay, so mostly YouTube. So, well, one of the best things you can do is also try to work on like small projects. Um, Eventually, you want to think of programming as a tool to accomplish things. Well, there's a lot of free resources outside of YouTube as well, like blogs, but there are also books. I actually personally find books also very useful because um, you have to put in a lot of effort to write a book. So book writers are very careful with the technical information that they put out. Well, I guess it depends on who's writing the book, but all right, yeah, the official docs are kind of dry though. I've actually read some like multi-threading, and I've gone through the docs a lot, but sometimes it feels very dry and lack of examples. But yeah, so the main thing you want to do is continuously work on the new Walrus operator. I haven't looked into that yet. Let's see. All right. While chunk it reads. Hmm. Sample data with sample. Okay, so this is if title entry dot title print. It's dummy data. Found title, and let's see, without walrus operator and with walrus operator. What is the difference here? I don't. Let's see. Found title. Yeah, I'll have to look into the walrus operator with updating. Okay, defines a variable and uses the same variable in the same line. I, yeah, top of my head, I don't see how it can be that useful, but I'm not sure. I guess when I play around with it, I'll see. But yeah, so I guess the basic advice I can give you is continue working on projects. Um, that's the best way you'll learn, and you want to be able to apply programming to just problems that you want to solve and see if it's solvable. Because yeah, just if you just continue to learn some of the concepts and not really utilize it, it's not gonna really be helpful. Always think of programming as a tool to solve problems. So if you get that mindset, it'll be very helpful, and it'll also open you up to other domains. You want to have domain knowledge so that you can actually see what problems need to be solved. But yeah, so you're not the one. I know someone was also good at graphic design. Oh, so I think I haven't played around too much with it, but it's I think it's with web frameworks. I don't really have too much knowledge with um, it's mainly used with web frameworks, if I'm not mistaken. You can check it out right now. So asynchronous frameworks, coroutines, network control subprocesses, queue. Yeah, so it's to write concurrent code. So high performance network and web servers. So yeah, I haven't used that framework too much. Asyncio. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, I don't really have too much knowledge with web frameworks. Recently, I've been looking into Flask, but yeah, I have to look into Django as well because I'm trying to get some of the deep learning models onto the web and see how they perform, or just be able to share them with people. So, but okay, the truck driver was good with industrial design, but there's someone else good with thumbnail design, right? I'm not sure if that was you. There's one other person there. In SolidWorks and AutoCAD. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, because I got a bunch of. All right, so you're the one who knows Photoshop. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Actually, I'll move this. Let's see. I'm curious as to what you think about some of these thumbnails. Someone else gave me some opinions, but so this is the first one. 3 common mistake is Python programmer makes. This one I didn't like too much, so we'll skip this one. I don't think anyone likes this one. Here's another one. Python regular expressions, part 1. We'll skip these. Here's another one. Python concepts. This is for live streams. Python scripts. The white border. Okay. Okay. So the white border stands out. So the other one, I think Gizly, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So let me just go through these real quick. All right. So yeah, these are pretty much all of the thumbnails. More friendly for non-programmers or beginners. All right. So I guess I should be tailoring my thumbnails to be more programmer or non-programmer friendly. Yeah, I know. That's what thumbnails that title are bad. No one will click. Yeah, I've realized that. So I'm trying to see if I make. I'm actually curious. I'm going to see if making different thumbnails is going to increase the click rate on my videos. So I'll have to make some. I'll record some data as to if it is actually increasing. Uh, I think they call it the click-through rate. But yeah, if there's anything you like or think is good, I mean, I think most of these are much better than what I have right now. Well, some of these I don't like. This one. This one's kind of like, I don't know. This one looks a little. I'm not really sure. This might be okay, I guess. This one looks really dark. It looks like a murder scene almost. I don't know. I'm not really feeling this one. This one looks okay. Text might need to go. And yeah, people like this one as well. This one looks like a kind of friendly. Um, okay. So I've seen about, but if I was newer to Python with those thumbnails, I'll be pretty scared to even watch the video. You make an interesting point. Okay. So I should make my videos more user friendly or more appealing to beginners. All right. That's an All right, I think my stream could be lagging a bit. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know. I have no idea how to fix this lag. I'm still new to using YouTube to stream. All right, so if you have any questions, just let me know. I think I'll sign off. I got some good feedback for thumbnails, and I'll look into MicroPython. And I'm actually kind of curious to see what the effects are going to be now of the of changing the thumbnails. So yeah, it'll be an interesting project or experiment. I don't remember the term in psychology, but it goes something like, if it looks easy, people are more willing to do it, and if they're willing to do it, they'll have an easier time. Okay, I'm not really sure what the term is in psychology, but I will definitely try to change the thumbnails and see what the feedback is going to be in terms of user click-through rate. But yeah, your feedback is actually very helpful. Now I've noticed a lot of people put their face on thumbnails, like with a smiley face or like a goofy face. Now, what do you think about that? Actually, I'm just curious. Face under gives a more professional look. Yeah, but sometimes they do have a kind of goofy face. Um, Looking to color through, there are colors that attract more the human eye. All right, yeah, I'm hoping the designers or the designers of the thumbnails are looking into that. Um, but yeah, all right. So I'm going to. It's been almost an hour. I got some good feedback, and just in case anyone watches the rerun, I do have a couple of videos that I have edited already. Um, I was working on the thumbnails, so I'm going to be putting them up. These are some more beginner videos, and I have to finish the ImageNet or the PyTorch transfer learning tutorials. I'm currently doing a lot of studying with deep learning, relearning all the math, and trying to do some object detection such as YOLO 3 from scratch in either PyTorch or Keras. So I have those things, and then I'm going to look into MicroPython, Someone had recommended Pill to look into that as well. So if there's anything you guys want to see, just give me some feedback. And yeah, so I have a bunch of ideas actually going, and yeah, I'll have to figure it out. So right now, I haven't really slept much. I've only went on 3 hours of sleep, so my energy might be a little down, and I can't think as quickly as I would like, so I can't come up with anything at the top of my head as to what else is there to work on. But yeah, so any feedback is always welcome, and I will see you guys next time I make a video. Finally, I usually like a big Python logo in the corner. It makes people searching for Python even easier in other languages. All right. How do you physis, I guess. So thank you so much for the feedback, and I'll see you next time. All right. To end the stream.